Excuse me, Amber. Let's shoot some photos in front of the perfume. Right here. Smile. Beautiful.
So tell me, how do you like the sweet smell of success? Is Heavenly one hell of a perfume or what? Seriously, I want to thank my many good friends for helping me launch our latest fragrance, Heavenly. What can I say? I'm on cloud 9. Everybody eat, drink, and be merry. For tomorrow, we diet.
Philip, we need to talk.
Did you get my message?
That my Ferrari's been confiscated, the locks on the condo changed, and my credit card's canceled. That message?
That's the one. Amber, dear, it is over between us.
Well, I have a message for you.
Hi, Amber.
You want to play hardball? I can play that game, too.
Mr. Darcy, Amber, photo, please.
Of course, my dear. Of course.
Great, thanks.
By the way, Philip, darling, I wouldn't put Heavenly on my dog.
Here you go, Dad.
Oh, thank you, Ted. I send you for appetizers, and all you bring me is one.
Well, you said you were watching your weight.
And you wonder why I won't bring you into the company.
Oh, I don't need your company or you.
We'll see about that.
Bon appetit, Father.
Philip, darling, wonderful party.
Well, thank you, Robin. I'm glad to see there are no hard feelings.
Don't be so sure. I haven't decided whether to sue you or kill you.
Robin, I will make it up to you. I promise.
I didn't spend 5 years in your perfume lab developing Heavenly just to be fired. I'll get you for that, Philip.
Philip, we have business to discuss.
I only want to hear 3 words from you. Here's your money.
It's never enough with you. Well, I'm not paying you another cent.
Well, in that case, I'll be sure to send the minutes of our next board meeting to your jail cell.
You do what you have to do. I'll do what I have to do.
Thanks for the bubbly. Evelyn.
Philip, how good to see you.
I don't recall putting your name on my guest list.
What's an old guest list between 2 friends? Besides, I came for the caviar.
Oh, and here I thought you were trying to steal a model of Heavenly so you could create another one of your cheap knockoffs, huh? Hand it over.
Oh. And I thought it was complimentary.
No, only to my invited guests.
C'est la vie. But I will knock off Heavenly. I'll sell it for half your price and make a fortune.
Over my dead body.
Oh, please, Philip, spare me the theatrics. Philip?
Dad!
Somebody.
He's dead.
It's Burke's Law.
Hello, Chief Burke.
Ma'am, to what do we owe this unexpected pleasure?
I wanted to say goodbye before I leave for Roma.
Vinny didn't say anything about you taking a trip?
Vinny? I have no son by that name.
Is there some problem?
I don't want to bother you fine people with our family troubles. I just came here to say that it was so nice knowing you. And I want to thank you for everything. And now, off to the airport.
When's your flight?
Oh, day after tomorrow.
You're not planning on staying at the airport until then, are you?
Oh, I'd be fine. They have benches I can sleep on. Bathrooms are nice and clean. And look, I have plenty quarters to sit in one of those chairs with the TV set, you know?
Oh, no, I have a better idea. You'll stay here with us until your flight.
Oh, no, I could never impose.
No, I insist, Mrs. Piatti. You'll stay here with us.
Okay, you twist my arm. Where is my room?
I got it.
Henry, take Mrs. Piatti's bags up to our blue bedroom.
You're such a fine gentleman. So unlike that ungrateful somebody whose name will never cross my lips again. Che bella lezione che sarà questa per quel figliuolo maleducato.
Dad, that was Lily. Philip Darcy's dead.
The perfume manufacturer? How'd it happen?
According to Lily, unnatural causes.
Smells like murder.
Good afternoon, Chief. I'm Pete.
Hey, looks like we missed the party, huh? New perfume?
You like it? Philip Darcy was introducing a new fragrance. Heavenly. I couldn't resist trying a little.
Question is, who couldn't resist sending Philip Darcy to heaven? Cause of death?
My guess is he was poisoned, but we won't know for sure until the autopsy.
Any suspects?
A party full. Most of them abandoned ship after he died, but I do have the guest list.
Anything else?
A wide-open safe in the cabin on Darcy's yacht. We're dusting it for prints.
Peter, why don't you check out the safe? See if it was Jimmy.
Aye, Chief. Come on, Lily.
Yeah.
Here's to a successful investigation.
And you are?
Evelyn Turner, Turner Cosmetics. And you are?
IR, Chief Burke, homicide. I can't seem to find your name on this guest list.
That's probably because it isn't on the list. Philip Darcy and I didn't exactly get along.
Why was that?
Oh, because I made millions selling affordable versions of his overpriced perfumes. Drove him crazy, but there was nothing he could do about it.
Then why were you here?
To offer my congratulations. Oh, believe me, I would like to see Heavenly become a great success. The bigger it gets, the more people will buy Angel's Kiss.
Your version of Heavenly.
Exactly. Every time he came up with a new idea, it gave me an opportunity to create a knockoff.
Sounds like there was no love lost between you, which leads me to wonder what you're still doing here.
Philip gave me my start in the business. We had our differences, but I respected the man. Believe it or not, I'm gonna miss him.
Dad, there's no sign the safe was forced open. And get this, it was full of cash.
Miss Turner, this is my son, Detective Peter Burke.
Detective? Oh, it's too bad Philip Darcy didn't let his son into the business. He might have lived a little longer.
I take it that would be Ted Darcy?
That's right. Philip did everything he could to keep Ted out of the company.
Are you suggesting Mr. Darcy was killed by his son?
I don't know. But more than anything, Ted wanted to fill his father's shoes.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. I think we better have a talk with Ted Darcy. Let's find out if the shoe fits.
I know how much you hate wearing bow ties, but I'm telling you, it goes with your outfit. Trust me. Just hold still. Only take a second.
This way,
There
gentlemen.
you go. Ah, perfect timing. Here come the photographers. Hey, fellas, where do you want to shoot this?
No, we're not photographers, Mr. Darcy. We're police. Homicide.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, Jeffrey here is the poster boy for my Wildlife Foundation, and we're going to take some publicity shots this afternoon.
Very dashing.
Isn't he? Jeffrey was rescued off the coast of Alaska. His father was killed by a shark.
We're more interested in who killed your father. Why did you stay with his body at the yacht club?
As a may sound callous, but I hated his guts. Come on, Jeffrey. You see, nothing gave my father more pleasure than controlling people, especially me. But it didn't have anything to do with his death.
We understand your father did everything he could to keep you out of his business.
He never took me seriously. He always said to survive in the perfume industry that you had to have the killer instinct, and he didn't think I had it.
Do you have the killer instinct?
Well, I didn't kill him, if that's what you're asking me.
Still, it must have hurt to be kept out of the family business.
Yeah, well, I got over being hurt when I was about 12 years old. That's when my mother divorced my father. She got half the stock and sold it off. I've been living off the proceeds ever since she died.
You stand to gain a lot more proceeds now that your father's dead.
The only thing I'm going to gain is peace of mind. But if you're looking for somebody who's going to make out like a bandit, I suggest you talk to Hiram Waters. Major investor in the company. I saw them having an argument just before Dad died.
What about?
Rumor was that Hiram had ripped off the company in an illegal stock scam.
Well, Peter, it appears that Hiram Waters is next on your guest list.
Is that Mr. Waters?
Sir?
I said, is that Mr. Waters?
Yes, sir. The loud one in front.
Mr. Waters! Detective Burke, homicide.
Yes, one moment. Once more round the house, laddies.
I wanted to talk to you about Philip Darcy.
You'll have to make it quick. It takes the boys just 2.5 minutes to make the circuit round the house.
What's with the bagpipes?
Oh, something I picked up. A hobby. Good for the lungs. In fact, I'm a major investor in the largest bagpipe manufacturing company in all Scotland.
I've done some checking. Your investment portfolio, it's very, eclectic.
I invest in things that interest me personally. Bagpipes, for example. I also like a close shave, so I bought a razor blade company. And I love the scent of perfume on a woman's skin.
And Philip Darcy's company makes the best perfume in the world, so...
So, I invested $45 million in his company.
Yeah, well, I understand that you and Mr. Darcy were arguing at the party.
Yes, we disagreed sharply on the advertising campaign for Heavenly Perfume. It's hardly something I would have killed him over. When the news of his death hits the papers tomorrow morning, the value of my stock in his company is going to take a nosedive, approximately 30%. That's in the neighborhood of $15 million.
That's an expensive neighborhood, huh?
Well, right on schedule. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to practice. We're marching in a parade on Saturday.
Mr. Sidley?
That's everything the late Mr. Darcy had on him. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, I beg to differ. Look what we've got. A $15,000 Rolex. A solid gold money clip. A Gucci wallet made from the finest Italian leathers. A key to a Bentley. And a $300 hand-stitched handkerchief made by Maison de France. Philip Darcy was a man who liked the best money could buy.
Amazing police work, Chief.
No, it's not that amazing, Lily. He owns half that stuff himself.
What could I say? The man had good taste. Any word on cause of death?
Well, he showed signs of pulmonary edema, constricted trachea, and swollen lips.
That sounds like anaphylactic shock.
Well, that's what I thought. So I did a toxicology test. Philip Darcy died of an allergic reaction to bee venom.
Oh, he died from a bee sting?
No, that's just it. We couldn't find any evidence of a sting or an injection.
He could have been poisoned.
Well, that's right. So we're checking the contents of his stomach.
Any luck with prints on the safe?
There were 2 sets of prints. One was the late Philip Darcy's.
That makes sense.
The other belongs to Evelyn Turner.
That doesn't. Question. Did the queen of knockoff perfumes knock off Philip Darcy? hope we're not interrupting.
Oh, not at all. In fact, you're just in time for some real detective work. Here's your first clue. I'm putting some perfume on Donna and Denise. One is Philip Darcy's Heavenly, the other my version, Angel's Kiss. I'd be curious to see if two impartial noses can tell the difference.
What do you say, Dad?
Go for it, son.
Yeah. Very nice.
I was just thinking the same thing myself. Be gentle.
Always.
The key to a successful copy is to duplicate the original fragrance at a fraction of the cost.
I can't tell the difference between these two.
Congratulations, you two have done it.
Actually, I believe Heavenly is on the left and your copy is on the right.
How could you tell?
Well, your version has a hint too much lilac.
Back to the drawing board. You ladies, you can relax. Guys, it's got to be perfect. I want it reformulated and on my desk for retesting at 4 o'clock today. You here to ask me more questions about Philip?
We found your fingerprints on his safe.
Care to explain how they got there?
I guess I should have worn gloves. Sorry. What I didn't tell you at the yacht club was that Philip and I were lovers years ago. I knew the formulas for the perfumes were in his safe.
So you opened it, stole the formula for Heavenly.
No. That is, I tried to. All I wanted to see is how close my copy was to the original. But I couldn't get the safe open. Philip must have changed the combination.
Your fingerprints make you a #1 suspect.
No, you got that wrong. I got this out of my safe deposit box this morning. It's Philip's will, written 4 years ago, naming me as the beneficiary. He gave me that copy himself.
And you've just given us a motive for murder.
No, I couldn't kill Philip. With all his faults, I still loved him. And that will proves that he cared about me, too.
I'd like to hold on to this, if I may. One more question. Did you know that Philip Darcy had a deadly allergy to bee venom?
Of course, why?
We believe that's what killed him. Did anyone else know about his allergy?
Well, his son, of course, Ted. And Amber, I suppose.
Yeah, that's Amber Malone, the model in his perfume ads.
She was also sleeping with him, for all the good it did her.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Well, rumor had it that Philip was dumping Amber from his ad campaign for Heavenly because she was getting too old. But I know the real reason.
Which is?
Philip discovered that Amber was also sleeping with his son.
Not too smart. I mean, losing that job could kill a career.
Peter, I suggest you find Amber Malone and see if she killed Philip Darcy's career first.
One leg down, one to go. Who are you?
Detective Burke, Miss Malone. I heard you screaming. I didn't realize it was just,
Me getting my legs waxed?
Exactly.
You men don't realize what we go through to keep ourselves beautiful. Now tell me, have you ever felt anything so smooth?
I'm sorry, Miss Malone. That information's confidential. Actually, I have a few questions about your relationship with Philip Darcy.
Would you give us a few minutes, Gloria?
You got it.
I can't believe he's gone. Do you know what killed him?
Bee venom.
Wow, his allergy.
I guess you knew about that since you were having an affair with him.
You knew about that?
We also know you were sleeping with his son.
It's not what you think. Philip discovered me working in a department store when I was 18. He turned me into a supermodel. I owe everything to him.
So sleeping with him was kind of a payback.
More like job security. Do you know how many beautiful women there are out there? I was just keeping the odds in my favor.
So how do you explain your affair with his son?
I'm still searching for the right man.
Well, I guess you have plenty of time. Now that you've been fired.
You know, you sure are taking the fun out of this. Yes, Philip fired me, but he'd done it a dozen times before. He was like a spoiled little boy, always wanting his way.
So you didn't take it seriously?
Of course not. Philip fired me every week. That way he could rediscover me and hire me back.
So it was kind of like a little game you two played.
That's right. Philip was crazy about me. That's why he left everything to me in his will.
He left you a will? How long ago?
6 months ago. Nobody knows about it except me. And now you.
While you were at the party, did you give Philip anything to eat or drink?
Only thing I gave Philip was a kiss.
One last question. Do you know anyone who had a reason to kill Philip Darcy?
Sure. Robin Porter. She spent years developing the fragrance for Heavenly. Then he fired her.
Why is that?
She didn't tell me, but she did say that she'd make him pay. I thought she was talking about money, but maybe she meant...
Pay with his life.
From the Burgundy region, an early harvest. 1977 Chateau de Val.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Robin Porter.
Right over there. The one in the blindfold.
Thank you. Your roses are lovely.
Something of a hobby.
An amusing little Cabernet. A Romani Conti, 1964.
South side of the hill. But they left the skins on for a few days. Too long.
That's absolutely right.
Chief Burke, homicide. I'm here about Philip Darcy.
Of course. If you'll all excuse me, Chief Burke.
Yeah, that's an impressive talent you've got there.
I'm one of 8 people in the world who can identify a wine by its smell. Although we may have to add you to the list.
Thank you. But I'm an amateur compared to a professional olfactorist like you. I believe that's the term.
Well, in the perfume business, I'm simply referred to as a nose.
Yeah, you've got a spectacular one there.
All those perfumes with movie stars' names on them, I created them.
Must be frustrating to let someone else have the glory.
I'm well compensated for my frustration.
My son tells me that Philip Darcy fired you.
That's true.
You don't seem bothered by it.
I'm not. He's dead. I mean, I was plotting all sorts of revenge at the time, but somebody beat me to it. It's funny how people change. Just a few months ago, Philip named me in his will for the work I had done.
Really?
A major beneficiary. He left me his share of the company as a reward for all the work I had done.
Did it surprise you?
Nothing Philip did surprised me. Not even when he fired me.
Why did he fire you?
Ego. He was afraid that I was getting too much credit for all the new perfumes.
Did you talk to Philip Darcy at the party?
Sure. I kissed him, he kissed up to me, and I gave him the kiss off. I was angry because he fired me, and I told him so.
Did you happen to notice what he was eating or drinking?
No. Why?
Someone at the party gave him a fatal dose of bee venom.
How?
And if we knew that, we'd have our killer.
Well, if there's anything that I can do to help.
As a matter of fact, there is. Let me know if you smell anything fishy.
Excuse me. Does my hospitalization cover mental breakdowns?
What are you talking about?
Mrs. Piatti is driving me crazy. As soon as I get into the kitchen, there she is looking over my shoulder.
I'm sure she's just trying to be helpful.
Helpful. I prepared some sushi for lunch. She cooked it.
Patience. Patience, Henry.
Amos, I need Amos. Amos, you have to put an all-points bulletin ASAP. But you got to do it fast because my mother's missing.
Benny, it's all right.
She's not all right. She could be kidnapped. She could be hijacked. She could be alone in a mall somewhere. I tried looking all over Santa Monica. I can't find her. I now know what an orphan feels like.
I assure you, she's perfectly safe.
To hold it. Wait a minute. Nobody sautés garlic like that. I smell the cooking of my mom.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. Your mother's not missing. She's staying here in our house.
Oh, I am so relieved. Oh, what am I talking about? I'm not relieved. What is she doing here?
Avoiding you?
Me?
She's talking about going back to Italy. She says something about an argument between the two of you.
Argument? What argument? I don't know what you're talking about. Look, as long as she's all right, I'm out of here.
Benny, What in the world is going on between you and your mother?
I have nothing. Everything. I'm listening to me. I can't discuss it with you now. It's too personal.
But you do love her, don't you?
Oh, she's like a mother to me. But when that woman yells, she can whoop the sound barrier.
And your mother does love you.
In her way.
Now, you just stay here. I'll go and get her, and the two of you will talk things out.
No. No, I'm not ready for that. No, I don't think this is a good idea. But let me tell you something. Never, ever tell her, if you know what's good for you, that you think she's using too much garlic. You'll get in trouble.
Hey, Vinny.
Oh, hi. You didn't see me.
Don't ask.
I just got the background check on our investor, Hiram Waters. He's been making a killing buying and selling Darcy stock.
That sounds like insider trading.
That's not all. He's been making huge monthly payments to Philip Darcy.
That sounds like blackmail.
That's my guess. Take a look at that.
Well, a bagpiping financier has another interesting hobby. Beekeeping.
What brings you back so soon? Care to take up the bagpipe?
No, thank you. I'm more interested in your hobby you didn't tell me about. Beekeeping.
Bees. Absolutely fascinating. They take my mind off of everything. They're nothing to fear. They won't hurt you unless you rile them.
Did you get riled Philip Darcy was blackmailing you?
I beg your pardon?
We've done some checking of your finances. You're making large monthly payments to Philip Darcy. Would you like to explain?
Past several years, I made a lot of money buying and selling Darcy stock.
I think the legal term is insider trading.
In any case, Philip found out and threatened to expose me to the SEC unless I gave him half my profits. We're talking millions of dollars, so he and I worked out a monthly installment plan. That's it.
Only you got tired of paying and killed him.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Did you know Philip Darcy was allergic to bees?
Did I? One Christmas, I gave him a dozen jars of homemade honey. You would have thought I was trying to force-feed him cyanide. Is that what killed him? A bee sting?
He was stung all right. By a human. We believe someone put bee venom in something he ate or drank.
It wasn't the champagne. I poured us both a glass. It tasted fine to me.
Assuming you didn't poison his.
Look, detective, I was the closest thing to a friend that Philip had. I know, it sounds a bit bizarre, but I can prove it to you. Come on. This is my personal safety deposit box.
Very effective.
That's Philip's will. It's dated 2 weeks ago. I was the only one that he trusted to take over his company. That will leaves all his holdings to me, which I'm sure did not go over well with his son, Ted. And if you hurry, you can ask him.
Hurry?
Well, the buzz has it that Junior's leaving the country.
Okay, we'll check it out. And for your sake, Mr. Waters, I hope those aren't killer bees.
You sure you brought enough stuff?
Well, you didn't say how long we'd be gone.
If you're both convicted, I'd say 25 years to life.
Hello, Chief. Down here to wish us bon voyage?
Depends on where you're going.
Out to check the penguin population off Baja.
There are no penguins in Baja.
Well, I guess that saves us the trip. Thanks.
I'd suggest you stay in port until this case is closed.
You know, Chief, Amber here tells me that you've got some wild theory that somebody slipped my father a fatal dose of bee venom.
Oh, it's more than a theory. Amber told my son she gave him nothing to eat or drink at the party. What about you?
Nothing that I remember.
What about that hors d'oeuvre?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for reminding me, precious. I gave him a shrimp canapé. Come on, Chief, you don't really think that I poisoned my own father to gain his inheritance?
Funny that you mention an inheritance. Did you know that your father had made out wills to Robin Porter, Hiram Waters, Evelyn Turner, and Amber Malone?
I'm not surprised. That's how Dad bought their loyalty.
Let me guess. He gave you a will, too.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he gave me one just last week.
He did. You never told me.
Yeah, well, you never told me that he gave you one either.
Slipped my mind.
And where's the will now?
It's in the safe.
That means you know the combination.
Whoops.
You stole the formula for Heavenly from the safe, didn't you?
Well, go ahead, tell him. We have nothing to hide.
No, not anymore. I knew my father was never going to bring me into the company, so I made a deal with Evelyn Turner.
She promised she'd make us partners if Ted gave her the formula to Heavenly.
Look, Chief, my father was a rotten bastard, but he was still my father. I couldn't have killed him.
Well, where there's a will, there's a relative. Burke's Law. The only way you'll ever get to the bottom of your problem is to talk about it in an open and honest fashion.
I'm willing, if what's-his-name will.
That's right, Ma. Take the knife and stick it deeper into my heart.
Vinny, Mrs. Piatti, you promised to be civil. Now tell us exactly what's eating the two of you.
Sauce.
Sauce?
This whole fight's about sauce?
Have you heard the expression, too many cooks spoil the broth? This is sauce.
Well, where I come from, sauce is thicker than blood. Unlike yours.
I think I see the problem.
Have you ever tasted his sauce, huh? It's like watered-down tomato soup.
Ma, this is California. People like a lighter sauce so that the flavor of the pasta can come through. Is that too hard for you to comprehend?
Ever since he's been this high, I've been telling him, if you put a spoon in the sauce and it don't stand up, it's not thick enough.
You listen, Ma, I want you to say, just stick the spoon in there, and you know perfectly well.
What's the matter with you? You forget everything I teach you, or you just doing this to hurt me? You don't know me enough.
Now, wait a minute. Maybe there's a solution. Why don't you divide the cooking chores? Vinny cooks Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Mrs. Piatti does it Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Hey, what about Sunday?
You come on to my house.
I don't know. What do you think?
I say the man has the wisdom of a Solomon. Per me va bene.
Okay, per me.
Okay. Looks like we've got a deal.
Come on, Ma, get your suitcase. We'll go home.
That's my boy. And besides, it's my day to do the cooking.
Wait, no, wait a minute. It's Wednesday. It's my day.
No, I'm on Italian time. It's already Thursday.
Ma!
Vinny!
All right. Boom.
Boy, am I glad we don't fight like that.
Well, there's a reason for that, Peter.
What?
You know I'm always right.
It's safe to come in.
World War III's over, Henry.
Or at least there's a truce.
This just came over on the fax line.
It's from Philip Darcy's estate lawyer. With all the wills floating around, I decided to find out who the very last will was made out to.
Which one of our suspects is the beneficiary?
None of them.
Then who?
Louis Brighton.
Who?
He's Robin Porter's gardener.
Gardener?
Mm-hmm.
Why would Philip Darcy leave millions of dollars to a gardener? Doesn't make sense, Dad.
Murder never does.
Oh, Chief Burke.
We'd like to see Miss Porter.
Yes, this way, please.
In my opinion, Miss Porter, you have a strong case for loss of income and emotional distress.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Chief Burke, I'll be with you in just a second. I also want to sue for punitive damages. He did it deliberately.
Whatever you say. I'll draw up the paper.
Terrific. Thanks.
Lawsuit?
I was in an elevator and a man lit a cigar. I told him to put it out. He deliberately blew smoke into my face.
Ouch.
Utterly destroyed my sense of smell.
A whiff of smoke?
There are over 600 toxic chemicals in that whiff, and each one plays havoc with my senses. That's why I can't wear perfume or scented lipstick. The faintest aroma can throw off my judgment.
Maybe your nose should be insured by Lloyd's of London.
It is.
We have some news for you. Philip Darcy made out a will 2 days before his death. He bequeathed his entire estate to your gardener.
My gardener?
Louis Brighton. We've done some checking. He's not just your gardener. He's also your father, isn't he?
Yes.
Did Philip Darcy know you were Louis Brighton's daughter?
I never told him. I was afraid he wouldn't hire me if he knew who I really was.
Do you have any idea why he left everything to your father?
Well, 20 years ago, my father developed Philip's first perfume, Allure.
That's a classic.
It launched Philip's empire. Unfortunately, they had a falling out, and my father never saw his share of the profits.
Well, maybe Mr. Darcy developed a guilty conscience.
Better late than never, I suppose.
Did your father know that he was named in the will?
Oh, I don't think so. Why?
Well, it could have been a motive for murder.
Oh, no. If my father was going to murder Philip Darcy, he would have done it 20 years ago. Besides, haven't you arrested Evelyn Turner yet?
No.
Why should we?
Well, you mentioned the bee venom. I thought you knew.
What?
She's developed a whole new line of honey-based cosmetics. There's bee pollen in each product.
I think I'd better buzz over and visit our queen bee again. Oh, excuse me. I'm looking for Evelyn Turner.
It's about time. I'm first.
Strawberry. Peach.
Oh, no. Oh, Chief Burke, I'm sorry. There's been a terrible mistake. This is not the lipstick tester. Why don't you all go outside and freshen up, and I'll let you know when the real tester arrives.
What a shame.
The pleasure was all mine.
We're test marketing a new line of flavored lipsticks. Did you know that the average woman spends more money on lipstick than on any other cosmetic?
No, I had no idea.
Problem is, once she finds a lipstick that she likes, she tends to stick to it forever. So my job is to find a way to improve the product, make it creamier, richer, smoother, whatever it takes to make the customer come back for more.
And that's why you've developed a line of honey-based products.
You heard. I was going to mention that. I just didn't think it was important. I mean, after all, honey isn't exactly bee venom, is it?
They both come from the same source.
Yes. But honey is as close to a bee as I'll ever get. You see, Philip and I share the same deadly allergy to their venom.
How convenient.
Check with my doctor if you don't believe me.
I will.
Are you in a hurry?
Why?
I'd like to hear what you think of my new flavored lipsticks.
Sorry. I never kiss and tell.
So do you think Evelyn Turner was being straight with you?
No. Yet, on the other hand, neither of any of our other suspects. Yet every one of them has a perfect motive for murder.
No kidding. Robin Porter may have created Heavenly, but her hatred of Philip Darcy was down to earth.
Yeah. And the model, Amber Malone, she hated Darcy because she had to sleep with him to stay in the company.
Yeah, let's not forget our investor, Hiram Waters. I mean, the fact that Philip Darcy was blackmailing him over his shady stock trades makes him a prime suspect.
And Ted Darcy hated his father because he kept him out of the company.
That reminds me, thanks.
For what?
For letting me join the family business. Working with you means a lot to me, Dad.
And me too. I just wish business weren't so good. Oh, Lily.
Oh.
What?
Interview must have gone well.
Why do you say that?
You've got lipstick on the corner of your mouth.
Hmm? Oh, thanks.
Dad? Hello? You there?
Yeah, I'm still here. And I just figured out how we can sniff out our killer. If my hunch is right, this is all that we need.
His handkerchief?
What's on it? I want each of those smudges analyzed.
Are we looking for anything in particular?
Bee venom.
I'll get right on it.
Looks like we're going to have another party at the yacht club.
What do you want me to do, Dad?
Send out the invitations. I see all hands are present and accounted for. I promise this won't take very long.
I see no point in my being here. We all know I didn't do it.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Waters, you're guilty on 2 counts.
I didn't kill Philip.
I never said you did, but you are guilty of insider trading. We've informed the SEC.
What's the other count?
Creating a public nuisance.
Your neighbors have filed a dozen complaints about the noise from your bagpipes. Amber, what drove you to do it?
What are you talking about? I'm innocent.
A murder, yes. But you slept with both the Darcys without loving either of them. Maybe you should stop and ask yourself why. This is Philip Darcy's handkerchief. It holds the solution to Philip Darcy's murder. And it was a kiss I received from one of your models that gave me the clue.
We analyzed the stains on it. It has traces of food, champagne, lipstick, and bee venom.
You kissed Philip Darcy just before he collapsed, didn't you, Miss Turner?
Yes, but I didn't kill him. I swear I didn't.
Well, we know that. Your doctor confirms what you told us. You're just as allergic to bee venom as Philip Darcy is. You almost got away with it, didn't you?
I'm completely innocent.
No, you didn't kill your father. But you're not completely innocent either. You stole a perfume formula that didn't belong to you. And that was wrong. You killed Philip Darcy.
All you've got is a smudge on a handkerchief, and you're accusing me of murder?
It's not just any smudge. It's from your lipstick.
You can't prove that. There's lipstick all over that handkerchief.
Exactly. And each stain is different. Evelyn told us that every woman has a favorite lipstick. Once she finds it, she tends to stick with it forever. This is your lipstick. We found it on your vanity at your house. You wear it for the same reason you don't wear perfume. It's unscented, so it doesn't get in the way of your job.
It has traces of bee venom on it, which match the venom on the lipstick smudge on Philip Darcy's handkerchief.
You gave Philip Darcy a kiss of death, didn't you, Miss Porter?
When Philip stole a lure from my father, he destroyed our family. First, my mother fell sick and died, and then my father broke down. All he does all day is trim those damn flowers. 20 years of trimming flowers. I grew up hating Philip Darcy.
And for 20 years, you plotted your revenge.
I had the same sense of smell as my father had. I used it to get a job with Philip's company. Only the strangest thing happened. Once I began working for him, I felt drawn to Philip. He was charming and generous. He even put me in his will. I thought for a moment he had changed, that I was wrong.
And after you came up with the formula to Heavenly, he fired you.
I realized he hadn't changed a bit. That Darcy charm was just an act, and I fell for it just like my father did. Only this time I wasn't gonna let him get away with it.
So you put bee venom on your lipstick and kissed him.
The real irony is, Philip Darcy's last will left everything to your father. So you would have gotten his money anyway, if only you had been willing to wait.
Here we go. Everything smells fantastic. Okay, dig in.
Avanti, mangiate, mangiate. Buon appetito.
Mom made the veal parmesan.
Ooh, I forget the garlic bread.
I made the Vinny pasta. You know, I once made this Vinny pasta for the Pope during Lent. You know what he said to me? Give me a break. I'm repenting here.
We are honored, Vinny. We are honored.
Veal parmesan's real heavy on the cheese, so forgive Mom for that. She just...
Mama, what you say about my veal parmesan?
I said the veal may be slightly overpowered by the cheese. That's all I said. I said nothing.
The veal parmesan is wonderful.
Oh, yeah, best I ever had.
See, he likes them, huh?
And the pasta, Vinny, delicious, unbelievable.
I say it's undercooked.
It's al dente, Ma. Al dente. You're in California, Ma. You know that? The most sophisticated palates. You know what they call them, Ma? Al dente for the teeth. Is this my cheese remark coming back to me, Ma?
I know a Thai place that just opened in Westwood.
In Italy, you could be arrested for pasta like that.
You're not in Italy now, Ma. You're in America. Yeah, and the tastes are different.
Ah, good taste is good taste, whatever you want. You are a pasta assassino.
What?
Ma al dente, ma no cruda.
Oh,
I didn't feel like having Italian food tonight anyway.
You're wrong.
No, mi dispiace. Rito, che nascondere? Vatti a nascondere, vai. You are a pasta assassin.